familiar faces here. We're excited to be cutting the ribbon on this new building. For those of you that I have not yet met, my name is Keith Cornell, and I have the pleasure of serving as president of Heartland Community College. I was going to be bold enough to say the finest and the premier community college in the state, but some people might get upset about that. So, but it's okay. It's our secret. We know it, and we know it to be true. So, on behalf of the entire college community, I want to welcome all of you to this event today that is been long awaited on our campus and in our community. The opening of the Advanced Manufacturing Center and the State Farm EV or electric vehicle lab. There are a number of folks who were instrumental in the creation of this instructional space that you're seeing here and down the hall from us. And it all started with the governor. So we are happy that the governor, J.B. Pritzker, is here with us today, as well as the director, Jason Horwitz, from the Department of Commerce and Economic Development. He was extremely helpful to us all the way from day one. He has been with us on this project. There's other state government officials as well that are here. I, though, first would like to take a moment to recognize a group of people that continue to give of their time and their talents to serve our community and guide Heartland to be the best institution that it possibly can for our students in the community. I want to introduce to you our Board of Trustees. With us today are Board Chair Becky Ropp, who you're going to hear a bit from in a minute. And then some of the other trustees are here. I'll ask them to stand. Board Vice Chair Janet Hood, Trustees Mary Campbell and Joshua Crockett, Trustees Cecilia Long, Thomas Witt, and of course we have the most outstanding student trustee, Andrea Merkel, who is also with us today. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of our college faculty and staff who are with us today, and many of them are still working because we still have to serve students as we're doing this. They truly make Heartland the great place that it is here in our community. We are also joined today by a number of individuals that made this project possible. They provide the guidance and the leadership to the faculty who had the vision for this new facility. With us today is our Vice President of Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Rick Pierce. I know Rick is over here. Our Dean of Career and Technical Education is Adam Campbell. Adam's somewhere in here, oh, in the back. And our Executive Director for Program Development and Innovation, Dr. Kurt Rendell, all who made this possible for us. But then this campus was developed by a couple people that I want to recognize. I know one of them is here. I'm not sure if the other one is. But they literally built this campus from the ground up and laid the foundation for the work that we have done here more recently with this facility in our new ag complex. Our former Executive Director of Facilities, Jim Hubbard. Jim, are you here today? Yep, there he is in the back. And then the man who in many cases built this campus literally from the ground up. He was instrumental in everything that you see here, and that is President Emeritus Rob Widmer, who's with us. We also want to recognize all of our elected and local officials who are here with us today. You all have been so instrumental in supporting the college and the efforts of our students and everything we do, from this job to the various types of things that we've been doing to improve the community. So can I ask all of you to please stand and be recognized? I also want to thank Apsara Sorensen and the others that are here today from State Farm. They continue to invest in this community and the state and are very supportive of the future of our students by supporting them in various different ways. And they were huge contributors to help us make this electric vehicle and energy storage program a success here at the institution. So we thank you. Sarah. I also want to note our regional manufacturing partners that have been so instrumental in everything that we continue to do here, including Rivian and Bridgestone, Ferraro, Brandt Industries, G3 Machining, CAT out of Pontiac. We have a strong relationship with them. And then, of course, the Illinois Manufacturing Association. Their commitment to our region's past and present and future workforce can't go unnoted. They are the reason that we get to help move this community forward. And finally, I want to recognize the important partners who have had a large part in designing and creating this very diverse and functional space that we have here. DeMonica and Brian Essex with DeMonica Kemper Architects. Are you here? I know I saw you. There you are, Dominic. Thank you. And you know, those things don't happen. You get them on paper, but then they have to be built. And so we had great partners in Bob and Paul Burns with John Co. Construction. Are they here with us? Yep, the back. As partners, they, for the last 18 months, have been putting this facility together and facing the challenges of creating a space to serve nearly a dozen hands-on programs and integrating them all seamlessly into our existing campus, creating spaces that are moving students from a job to a better job and into a career. As you can see, it takes a community of people to bring a project of this together, just as it takes a community to help students grow, learn, and advance and achieve their educational goals. It's not just institutions or facilities that do that. It truly is the faculty that bring the best out of students and help them to achieve. So we can never thank our faculty, our teachers, our educators enough for all they do for moving individuals and transforming their lives. Now, some of you know, and some of you don't, but I, in a much younger part of my life, when I had much more hair, I was actually a bus mechanic. And so standing in this space is kind of special to me. At that time, I was an individual who was kind of uncertain of where they were going to go or uncertain of my own future. That's much like many of the students that walk our hallways here at the college. But I walked into a situation as a mechanic, knowing little to nothing about cars, let alone buses, except I knew that the tires were too big for me to lift up and get off and on and on. But we got over that, we learned. Though what I did find from the first day was a group of teachers. Within a couple of months, these teachers, these professors of their crafts, these mechanics, they had me tearing down engines and rebuilding them, something that I never thought was possible. And it was because of these teachers or professors of their craft, I was able to kind of rethink what I wanted to do. And there were lessons that they taught me that I use every day in my work, even today as a president here at the college. One of those teachers, that professor of his craft, Tom Berg, is with us today. An individual who I thought about nearly every single day that this particular facility was getting built. I used to think, what would Tom say? Where would this lift go? What about these pieces of equipment? All of the things that I learned in the garage that day. So please join me in welcoming my special guest, my uncle and his wife, my aunt, Tom and Mary Ann Burke. Again, teachers come in all forms and shapes, and you never know when they're going to teach you the things that you need to in life. And he did that for me, so I'm very appreciative. I hope that as we finish cutting the ribbon here, that you're going to have the opportunity to really walk through this full facility and chat with our dedicated faculty, professors of their crafts. And although we have this beautiful facility, again, I want to restate, it is the faculty that are the most important component of helping our students with these hands-on learning that will be happening here in our Advanced Manufacturing Center. Career and Technical Education, or CTE as sometimes we refer to it, is a pathway to not just a job, but a pathway to a career. And a career in some of the most in-demand fields in Illinois. Electric vehicle technician, yes, but also in HVAC, automation, fabrication, robotics, renewable energies, and many, many more things that will drive our state and our communities into the future. And here's a little known fact that I'm not sure all of you know, but 80% of Heartland graduates in our CTE programs find employment before or shortly after graduation. That's 10% higher than the state average. And what is even more important are that these are students who are committed to living, working, and most importantly, building the future of our community right here and in the state of Illinois. We have also here at the college over the past number of years seen the need for career pathways that are flexible and stackable to reach not only students looking to enter into a career, but also to provide an opportunity to those already in the workforce looking to sharpen their skills. Since 2019, Heartland has added 40 new programs and certificates, including the development of a series of short-term stackable credentials that are designed to provide specific training for new students and also to upskill those already in the workforce who have training gaps. These pathways move students into a job, giving them the flexibility to gain more education to get a better job, and then advancing them on to a career that can forever change their lives. The Advanced Manufacturing Center, the space that we're standing in and just to my right, has added 45,000 square feet of learning space to advance the workforce of the future. This includes the very facility that we're in, the State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab. Heartland was the first community college to have a program in electric vehicle and energy storage and technology in the state, and we're very proud of that. But what we are more proud of is that we are taking what we have learned in the curriculum that we have created, and we're sharing it with other community colleges across the state in order to move the state forward as a leader in electric vehicle and energy storage. The fact that we are able to dedicate the effort and resources to get this project off the ground is due to a $7.5 million grant through the bipartisan Rebuild Illinois capital plan, and we thank you, Governor, for that. And that grant was just the beginning. It allowed our faculty to step back and say, how can we think about this differently? How can we think about it larger than just EV? And consider how we build a facility that integrates the various aspects of renewable energy and green energy into this very space for the workforce of tomorrow. It gave all of these programs the jumpstart that we needed to advance skilled training resources to secure the workforce pipeline of the future. Again, I want to thank Governor Pritzker and our friends at DCEO for this major effort to make Heartland a focal point of training for advanced manufacturing as well as electric vehicle and energy storage. So please join me in welcoming the Governor of the great state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and you have every right to stand up here and say that Heartland is the finest college in all of Illinois. Now, as the governor of the entire state of Illinois, where we have 48 community colleges, I will simply say this is the finest college that I have visited this week. I really am thrilled to be here to celebrate this terrific milestone for Heartland and for all of Central Illinois, and frankly, for the entire state of Illinois. Heartland has become a jewel among Illinois' community college system, and Heartland's Advanced Manufacturing Center represents the best of Illinois' commitment to investing in and educating our people for the well-paying jobs of today and tomorrow. It represents our commitment to clean energy and innovation. It shows what can happen when state government and higher education institutions and industry come together to create opportunity and to vault Illinois forward into a new industrial future. That's where we are, at a real inflection point for our state. In 2021, we stood together, Mr. President, and so many of you here, to announce the state's $15 million commitment to 2 manufacturing training academies, one of which would be right here at Heartland. And today, I'm proud and honored to be with you to celebrate the realization of that vision. This 45,000 square foot, I need to check that with the architects, 45,000? 45,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility will support programs in robotics and HVAC. The president knows all the programs, 40 programs you said that have sort of been created as a result of all of this, but welding, digital media, so much more. And with the State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab, Heartland is ready to train students in EV technology and high voltage energy storage, renewable energy and automation. Heartland now serves as a model, and this is the point that I was making earlier and why you all stand out. You are a model for the rest of the state. That's why in the budget that I proposed last week, I've proposed investing another $24 million for manufacturing training academies so that other communities can benefit from the trail that you're blazing right here in Central Illinois. I have conversations every week with business leaders from across the globe considering bringing their businesses to Illinois, more so than really ever before. And what I tell them again and again and again is that the number one best feature that we have to offer as a state is our skilled and educated workforce. Talented, passionate, dedicated people here are the drivers of our success and the foundation upon which we will continue to grow this state. Illinois' community college system is the 3rd largest in the country, and it's essential to why our state is a destination for new jobs and investment. There are lots of other states who, I was saying to the president, they have, like the Beverly Hillbillies, they have up through the ground come a bubbling crude, right? They have money coming up from the ground. They offer all kinds of dollars to companies to come to their state. We have some of that, but mostly what we have is great people. And that's what we get to brag about. And if we keep investing in our people, we're going to be the destination for most companies that are thinking about the United States and most companies around the United States that are looking for a new home. After years of neglect, Illinois state government is honestly now making a hugely substantial commitment to updating and upgrading our educational facilities and operating support for our colleges. With the help of my partners in the General Assembly, and I want to recognize our great state representative, Sharon Chung, without them, and without you sending great leaders to Springfield, we can't succeed at any of this. So this is a partnership, and they really are following through in Springfield. With the help of them, I've increased state scholarship grants by almost 80% over the last 5 years. That means that every student eligible for MAP funding received a grant this year, every single student. That never happened before. And that includes about 1 in 5 of Heartland's students. It also means that there's less pressure for institutions like this to raise tuition to cover costs. Prices go up, there's no doubt. It's always expensive to run a college, but making it a little bit easier by allowing more students to be able to afford tuition, and then on top of that, providing operating dollars for our institutions from state government alleviates that need to raise tuition costs. So one of the results of that is enrollment is up, and I mean across our community college system in the state of Illinois. That wasn't happening before 5 years ago. Now it is. And by the way, we're going up at a faster rate than most of the United States in our community college system. So I'm very proud of that, and things across Illinois for our education system have never looked brighter, with a direct economic impact of about $3.5 billion annually and a return on investment for students that's really one of the best in the nation. Community college in Illinois is ensuring great opportunity and great outcomes for working families. And McLean County and Bloomington Normal and Heartland has become both literally and figuratively the center of it all. The local manufacturing industry here generates $2 billion in economic output for our state and employs more than 7,000 Illinoisans. Indeed, that's a massive underestimate when you consider the growth that's occurring here. And with the growth of companies like Rivian and Ferrera, and you mentioned so many others leading the charge, and even more companies coming here, the future for this region couldn't be brighter. So I want to thank President Corneal, thank you to Director Durham, to Mayor Mwalambwe, to Mayor Coos, to our Representative Chung, and of course everyone here and all of you who have participated in the success of this. I look forward to our continued success moving forward for the people of this region and the entire state. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Pritzker. I would now like to ask Jason Horowitz, for a Senior Economic Advisor with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, to join us. Jason.
Thank you, President Corneal. Good morning. My name is Jason Horowitz. I'm the Senior Economic Advisor of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, or DCEO. I'm thrilled to be here in Normal today to celebrate Heartland Community College's new electric vehicle energy storage manufacturing training academy and the positive impact it will have on this region for generations pursuing the clean energy jobs of the future. The state's investment in Heartland is part of a larger manufacturing training academy initiative to provide the cutting-edge facilities and equipment to prepare Illinoisans for the manufacturing opportunities of today and tomorrow. And Illinois is proud to lead the nation by building a workforce with the skills needed to secure the clean energy future we all require, and which Heartland's state-of-the-art manufacturing training academy will help make possible. In addition to investments in training academies, through the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, or CEJA, Governor Pritzker is investing more than $180 million every year in clean energy workforce programs to help Illinois meet its nation-leading sustainability goals of 1 million passenger electric vehicles on the road by 2030 and 100% clean energy by 2050. And through programs like the Reimagining Energy and Vehicles Act, known as REV Illinois, which offers the most competitive clean energy incentives in the country, and by investing in our world-class workforce and logistics assets, Illinois is paving a path toward a more sustainable future that will have a lasting impact for generations to come. All of these initiatives support a strong electric vehicle and clean energy ecosystem with a world-class workforce and numerous industry leaders looking to expand and grow here in Illinois. Thank you, and now I'll turn it back to President Corneal.
Thank you, Jason, and to all of the folks at the DCEO for all of your efforts in helping us maneuver everything that we had to make this happen. We appreciate it. Next, we have also another individual who's been extremely supportive of our efforts here at the college, and that is Brian Durham, the Executive Director of the Illinois Community College Board. Brian?
Well, good morning, everyone. It is just fantastic to be here. I'm so excited for this grand opening of the Advanced Manufacturing Center and State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab. And I want everybody to take just a moment and think about how many lives are going to be changed by this facility. We're talking about 40 programs here, that this is going to go on into perpetuity with students over the years. We're going to see such tremendous impact on the community and on the students in Heartland's district. So truly exciting. I'm not sure if you're aware, but February is Career and Technical Education Month across the country, and it's being celebrated on community college campuses throughout the nation and here in Illinois. So it truly is fitting that we find ourselves here talking about this new center as CTE Month draws to a close. Undoubtedly, as I've said, the center is going to support so many new programs that are on the cutting edge of advanced manufacturing and emerging in the electric vehicle space. The community college system of Illinois touches 9,800 unique employers across the state, and in that context, a great many of those manufacturers or those employers are manufacturers that look to community colleges to meet their workforce needs. With over 4,000 programs, about 300 of which are manufacturing focused across the 48 colleges, manufacturing is truly key to helping colleges meet the workforce needs of their districts. As just one example of the work that colleges do during this past year, and thanks to the support of the Governor and the General Assembly, the Community College Board was able to provide about $9.4 million in competitive grant funds to promote the scaling of electric vehicle technology across the state, as well as advanced manufacturing programs that support electric vehicle infrastructure. Heartland Community College was the recipient of those funds, and as you can see with this center, they're going to be well positioned to take advantage of that in the future, as well as other opportunities across the state and the country in the advanced manufacturing and electric vehicle space. This work includes, much of which Heartland is helping to lead, a cohort of colleges to build capacity for transition to EV technology, the enabling of employer and community engagement and support, and the participation in a community college electric vehicle network. So with the support of the Governor and the General Assembly and Heartland in their role, we are ultimately seeing an explosion of this work across the community college system, and so it's so fantastic. And the good news is that Governor Pritzker, and thank you again, Governor, has included this program again in his proposed budget. Community colleges are the largest workforce training provider in Illinois, and as mentioned, the third largest community college system in the country. Community colleges are inclusive and accessible to anyone and offer a significant return on investment for their students. And these are just a couple of the great strengths that community colleges bring to the table. But perhaps their greatest strength is their ability to pivot quickly and to adjust to the changing needs of their local economies. This center is a wonderful and fantastic example of that pivot. No better example exists than this and the many students that will soon pass through its doors. So congratulations, Dr. Corneal, on the grand opening. Thank you.
So, you know, we all have people that make us so much better in our work and in our lives and everything else. So I get the pleasure right now of introducing two people that do that for me on a regular basis. First of all, my wife Felicia is here with us today. I think I just got in trouble. So she, you know, it's always great to have somebody there to support you. But also, I have a great board that is constantly supporting me in everything that we do here at the institution. So with that, I would like to turn the podium over to Becky Robb, who is the chair of our Board of Trustees.
Thank you, President Cornel. It is so exciting to be here today and to kick off a project that is a huge technological step forward for Heartland Community College and for our community of the District of 540. Last month, we opened a new agricultural complex, the first new addition to our campus in over 10 years. When much of this campus was planned in the late 90s and built in the early 2000s, the advancements that we see in electronic vehicle manufacturing and high technological support, such as robotics and automation and digital technology, they were all just being developed. Just like with agricultural industry, the need for specialized skills has become vital to the manufacturing workforce. About 30% of high school graduates do not attend college upon graduation, yet there are fewer and fewer jobs that offer a sustainable wage for individuals who haven't gained some sort of post-secondary education. Here in our college district, there are typically 450 to 600 jobs posted each month, while only about 350 of those jobs are actually filled. The career technical education programs housed in this Advanced Manufacturing Center are geared towards filling that workforce gap and offering opportunities for students to advance into a job and ultimately a career. In addition to this EV facility, our Advanced Manufacturing Center provides more opportunities for hands-on training programs in green energy fields and renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind. Traditional career technical education fields such as HVAC, welding will also have more space and more student capacity. Developing fields such as robotics and electronics and digital media will all have lab space for hands-on development. Let me just say, take a moment and enjoy this moment, what we are being able to create today. The mission of Heartland Community College is to provide opportunity through education. I also like to remind people that not only do we have the training for these in-demand careers, but Heartland also remains the most affordable option for students seeking a 2-year degree. So as we fold these skills and training courses with the focus on equitable opportunity, we not only secure the future of our community, but also transform the lives of students across District 540. I want to thank all of the partners we have here today who have supported this exciting mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. There is one final speaker I would like to ask to join us this morning. We are fortunate to have private industry partners who understand the value of supporting Heartland students, and their investment in the college and in students of all ages is vital to keeping our community vibrant, healthy, and strong. As we are standing in the State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab, I'd ask Apsara Sorensen to join us now to say a few words.
First, I'd like to thank you for the invitation to be part of this fabulous day. The ribbon cutting for the Advanced Manufacturing Center and the State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab. I am proud to represent State Farm and would like to acknowledge my colleagues that are here with me today. At State Farm, our mission is to help people. It's more than helping people manage the risks of everyday life and recover from the unexpected. It is also about helping people realize their dreams. Through our support of higher education institutions like Heartland, we help students realize their dreams and help build healthy and vibrant communities. As you heard from speakers today, this facility and program is an investment in the regional workforce. It is also an investment in the future economic success of our students. The specialized skilled training will equip students for in-demand job opportunities in Central Illinois and beyond. We are thrilled the State Farm Electric Vehicle Lab is ready to welcome students. State Farm is proud to work with Heartland and to help students realize their dreams. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I'm going to ask Melissa Fasik to come up. She's going to coordinate us on who's going to go where to cut what ribbons. So,
good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to start with our ribbon cuttings, and we ask that you please remain seated until we kind of get through all of them, and we'll call you up when we're ready for you. So first of all, our elected officials, please join our speakers up in front of there, and Chris and Amanda will help you. Thank you.
Go ahead and use that.
Okay.
People were cutting that speaker down.
Okay.
When the governor comes over there, he can talk.
Got it. Okay.
about And after 2 or 3, probably got 2 minutes. After 2 or 3 minutes.
Thank you, everybody. Next, we'd like to invite our friends from the McLean County Chamber of Commerce to come join the governor for ribbon cutting. I tried to. It made a lot of noise. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go. You're all good.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Oops, sorry, Steve.
Okay, hello everybody. Great to be here at Heartland Community College. And I mean, I was here at the very beginning when it was a much smaller garage and nothing new had been built. And now to be here to cut the ribbon and see this fabulous new facility is really thrilling. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'm going to step toward you just so I can hear you a little better. Yeah. Yep. So, there's a huge need for people who are expert at every aspect of electric vehicles, because the number of electric vehicles that will go on the road, even in addition to the fossil fuel vehicles that are on the road, will demand that we produce a workforce that can be part of that. You know that there's a Stellantis electric vehicle plant that's going to be built and replacing the old ICE vehicles at Belvedere, as well as battery manufacturing there. Rivian, of course, is a great job creator here. Electric vehicles are going to be a commonplace, and we're going to be at the head of the line here in Illinois for the workforce that's available for companies that need not only the electric vehicles, but also the parts, the suppliers that those electric vehicle manufacturers need. So, there's going to be an ebb and flow like there always is in the auto industry of demand for vehicles, but there's high demand and continues to be for electric vehicles in general.
Governor,
Yes.
do you think that Illinois should adopt zero-emission vehicle standards as other states like California have done?
So we want to work our way, obviously, toward having zero emission vehicles on the road. That's why we've provided some incentives for people who want to go out and on their own make that decision. I personally think now is not the right time for us to do that. Having said that, that's ultimately the goal. So the question is, it's not so much joining another state in their standard, it's just a question of we ultimately need to replace fossil fuel emitting vehicles in this country. And so we want to be a part of that in the state of Illinois. And again, we've created incentives rather than, sort of carrots rather than sticks to move people in the right direction. Yes?
How is the state leveraging or working with community colleges across the state to kind of, I guess, bolster the workforce and kind of create more programs like this here?
So our workforce development is, I think, second to none. We've made investments in Illinois that most states are late getting to, and we've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years since I took office. Our community college system is the third largest in the entire nation. When I talk to businesses, they love that fact. They love that they can partner with a local educational institution to develop their workforce, not only the people who already work for them maybe, but also all the people that they'll need for decades to come. They need to know that we've got the education system to help them. So I feel very strongly that the investments we're making, and they've been substantial, $300 million on top of the existing $400 million for MAP grants. We added significantly to the operating dollars to our community colleges and our universities since I became governor. If you want to invest in really the greatest return for a state, education. And I will say, starting with early childhood, which is hugely important, but all the way through college and graduate school. And again, Illinois is making that commitment, and you've seen in my budget that I'm continuing that direction. Yes, of course. Yes. So just to maybe reset on your question, the evidence-based funding law recommends $350 million a year. The idea is that over 20 years, we would add $7 billion to what we're already providing for education. I've done more than that every single year, not just in EBF, the $350 million, but also we have other categories for education like transportation in K-12 education, like making sure that we're funding special education, like the teacher pipeline grants that we created that I propose continuing. So the result is that really we're putting more than $500 million into K-12 education in the state each year. So yes, it would be great to put more in, because I believe we ought to get to the ultimate goal here of fully funding our schools faster, but we're always also balancing the needs in other parts of our budget. An example being continuing to build advanced manufacturing facilities.
We'll do one more. Got one?
Not yet. All right, so off topic again. Moving
Sure.
to normal right here is facing quite a serious housing shortage.
Yes.
As other communities are.
Yes.
The market by itself is really not building fast enough, and local government is getting pretty hands-off. Is there anything in your new state budget proposal, any new money to spur more housing construction, especially downstate?
I'm glad you raised this because beginning at least 2 years ago or more, I started with conversations with Mayor Coos about this issue, but also Mayor Mulambwe, and we recognize that you're growing jobs so fast here that there just isn't enough housing for everybody. We've seen people working at Rivian having to live in hotels. And if you ask anybody, right, I mean, all the houses that might have been available for sale basically have now been sold to people, and there's just not enough. So Yes, at the state level, what we've been looking at is how do we grow housing, because it's not just a problem for Bloomington Normal. Good news, the economy is growing across the state, and there's a housing shortage across the country. So we've created incentive programs through IDA, the Illinois Housing Development Authority, for developers and people who are creating new housing opportunities, whether it's rental housing or new homes for new home buyers. And it's almost like we can't do it fast enough because there's so much that's necessary in order to grow the housing that's needed. But again, we're trying very hard to do it as fast as we can. We've got great people running the Illinois Housing Development Authority that are talking to and working with your local officials. I recognize the problem, and I'm going to continue to focus on it, because last thing we want is for a company to say, well, gee, I can't house my workforce here, so when I expand, I'm going to expand elsewhere. That's not something we want. So very much focused on building housing. And then, broadly, affordable housing, not enough of it in general for people, whether they're, working families, working at one of your great companies here, or, people who are struggling to make it. So we've got to continue to invest in that more affordable housing as well.
All right, thanks everybody. We got to get going.
Yep, thank you.